It is now fall and temperatures are dropping, and to make sure that I'm able to save my plants from frost, I am gonna bring them into my garage and prepare conditions for them to survive. And so I have my husband on board with me. He's gonna help me do the setting up. I would tell him what I would like done, and he usually does a really good job at doing it so I can prepare to save my plants. So I would show you as I go along how we go about doing that this year. It's different from last year, and we were able to insulate our garage, and now the idea of protecting it further, not just being in an insulated garage, but protecting it with some plastic that we will be able to provide warmer temperatures for the plants in our unheated garage. So I'll take you with me and I'll show you how we go about doing this. This is in the garage, and we are about to set up the hangers for the grow lights that we are going to be installing to provide light for our plants during the winter months. And so this is the before, and my hubby is over there installing like 2x4s so we can still be able to open the garage door if we have a really nice day, warm and mild winter day, and get some sunlight in, some natural sunlight. So he's installing those 2x4s. I'm going to be hanging those lights from it, and I'll show you the progression as we go along. So far this is the progression. So we're going to be hanging the lights from these 2x4s. He's going to add another one to the front here because I have plants there. I got to organize that better, put some pallets, and you know, that way it will be off the cold floor. But yeah, that's what it's gonna look like. I'll show you the end results when it's all completed. So this is now the progress we have made so far, and I'm gonna walk you inside. And we have plastic up above. What's the measurement of this thing? Kind of like a rough, so they can understand the size, babe.
10 feet by 12 feet.
So it's like a 10 feet by 12 feet space in here that we were able to, you know, more insulate a little bit to make sure that our plants are going to survive over the winter. We didn't do it to this capacity last year, like I said, but now we're finding better ways and new things that we can try to make sure that our plants survive. And so we were able to repurpose this wood here to build a frame so we can put the plastic on it. And this is just, you know, a half section of the garage that we were able to take and do this with. So here I have my plants on a table. I think this is a 6-footer table, and this is an 8-footer in the front, and this is a little one here, a smaller table. And guys, they're on a table because we prefer to get them higher, so they're off the ground and they're closer to the top, so we will be hanging the lights, the grow lights there, to give them as much light as we can. We are going to get some light coming in through there from the garage door, some sunlight. And here I have pallets down on the floor so that they're elevated off the cold concrete, and that should help with, you know, a lot of the cold that would be going into those pots. But this is pretty much it, and we're going to go ahead and hang the grow lights, and we'll show you that when we're all done. So now we're gonna install our grow lights up here with these eye hooks, and there's already one installed here so we can hang our grow lights. So now hubby is going to drill the hole first so it'll be easier for the eye hook to be screwed into the wood. And now we're gonna put these grow lights that I bought a couple years ago. We're just gonna hang them here by this little chain. I would want it lower. Let's see how it's gonna go. Okay. Yeah, I would definitely want it a little bit lower, so that way it's not too far from my plants and it's getting adequate light. Nothing better than sunlight, but this is what we got, so this is what we're going to be using, and we're just going to adjust it to suit our liking. And now as you can see, we've adjusted the grow lights, and now it's closer to the plants, so it's going to get sufficient light, we think. We have installed three of these ones, and those I got them at Lowe's a couple years ago. And I also have some smaller ones and a couple of round ones. So I have different ones just to try it out to see, you know, how well they will do and if they work for us. And I have been using them for 2 years. This is going to be the 3rd season. Alright guys, so this is the end result of our grow light installation. We have 7 grow lights. We have 2 smaller ones here, and we have those longer ones. We also have a round one. And so they're on now, but we can't see the full effects of what it's doing and where the light is going. So we're going to turn it on tonight and see if we need to make any adjustments. Now we can only add 8 lights on this one connection. If need be, I'll just add the 8th light to this hookup, and hopefully that will be sufficient lighting for my plants to survive this cold and brutal winter. So guys, this is our little winterization pad here. It's more like a little greenhouse. Oh, you didn't put all the lights? Oh, they're all on. So this is how the setup is. It's nighttime now, and this is sufficient light for our plants to get them through the winter. We are going to put a thermostat on the wall right here at some point, just so that we can monitor the temperature in here to make sure it does not get to freezing at all. I doubt it would, because we insulated the garage, and so all of our plants are getting adequate lighting, and we do get some sun coming in from the windows up top here during the daytime, so that's a plus for us. Now coming closer to the spring, we would not be using these lights because these plants need to know when it's daytime and when it's nighttime. But for now, to keep them alive, we're just gonna keep the grow lights in here for the winter time, and then we'll adjust as we go forward in the springtime. So that's our little project here. We have plastic. We build like a frame in this side of the garage. That's my husband's side. So I still have my side. I can park on my side behind the plastic. And
okay,
he's listening. And here I have 2 extra lamps I can put up, but for now, you know, this is how it is, and there's adequate lighting. I'm going to monitor to make sure that the light is not too close, because sometimes that can affect the plant, as I have seen in my experience. We have peppers here, growing. So whatever is growing, I'll still let them grow. Look at this pepper plant. So I will, you know, let them do what they do. And guys, I'm so proud that I'm not even touching this lime. I haven't touched this beer. Ow! This thorns. This bear's lime. I have not. Let me put it in my palm so you can have an idea of the size of this thing. Look how big this is. But it's a lime that's bearing fruit, and one is enough for me. As long as it's bearing, that's what I want to see. So this is how we are caring for our plants during the winter season here in Zone 6B, Massachusetts. See right here, I am still able to allow these plants to have some natural sunlight. The sun's beaming in there, way in there, it's shining. And all I have to do is just open the garage door and allow the sun to come in and get these plants. But all these peppers I harvested. And there's more. And at this point it is November 28th. So peppers growing here. My aloe vera plant here is growing great. And I have a couple here that I need to transplant. I'm gonna sit my avocado right here so it can get a lot of sun. But it's doing well, as you can see. And I have more peppers here. So guys, these are doing great. Some of them I still allow to grow on the tree because it's not too cold in here because of the insulation and the protection of the plastic, which helps keep some of that heat inside. So that's pretty much it for now. And we will see where this take us. Plants are doing great back there in the jungle. But this is what it's gonna look like until we need to make adjustment if there's a need for it. So in the past, I've overwintered my plants in my basement and in my living room, believe it or not, because my living room has a couple windows and the sun comes in really well in there. But I mean, it didn't work out. I didn't want the plants in my living room. I realized that after I did that. And so that was 3 years ago, I believe. Last year I overwintered them in my basement. The basement is not finished. It's not insulated or anything like that. So this year we were able to get material. A lot of it was free and a lot of it was cheap. And we insulated the garage in order to be able to provide adequate conditions. That way we can save our plants and we can continue growing our food. So in the spring, what I'll do is I'll give those plants some fertilizer, and I would have to harden them off because you can't just throw your plants out in the sun when it comes out because it will burn it. It will damage the leaves and the plant will struggle. And I'm saying this because I've done it and I've learned from it. So now I know to do something different and to harden them off, put them out in the sunlight, probably a couple hours a day or so, just to make sure. And that's for especially the ones that have the leaves on it that may not drop their leaves. But for the ones that I'm not sure if they're all going to drop their leaves because they all didn't drop their leaves last year. For the ones that are newly springing out, the leaves that are newly springing out, those are the ones that I would really harden off, you know, and so that's how I would go about doing it, and see how that goes. So, and guys, I forgot to tell you that I do water my plants in the winter time. You have to water it because they need water, they need light. And don't put a lot of water in it because I want to prevent root rot, because there's not adequate sunlight and heat in there to assist with the excess amount of water that may be in there. And the plant does not need it over the winter time. It does not need a lot of water. So I do water it every 2 weeks. I pay attention to my soil. I stick my hands in there even though it's cold, and I feel it to see what the moisture level is. I just, you know, I'm in tune with the plants and what I'm doing, and so I'm trying to make sure as much as I can to save those plants and make sure that they stay healthy. So guys, thank you for coming on this journey with me, and as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time right here on Fifi's Journey.